Well, hello there, everyone. James Hilliard back with you, continuing a series of conversations with our team at CBT, all about industrial IoT. Again, the focus of the team there at CBT is really to bridge the gap between information and operational technology. We've talked about in this series, we've talked about condition monitoring. We had a chance to talk about some of the connected workers out there, digital twins, all that type of stuff. But realizing that some of you may be saying, hey, these technologies are great. Yes, we can see it for our organization, but where do we get started? How do we get started? Where do we lie in the process? So that's what we want to take this conversation about 10 or 15 minutes to talk about, kind of how to get you all started. We're going to talk about the Quickstart from CBT. Lonnie Ludwig is with us. He is the Vice President for Solution Development. So glad to have Lonnie on board. Also here, Kendall Johnson, Solution Strategist with CBT here as well. And Kendall, I'm going to start with you. And what I want to do is kind of have you give us an introduction to this Quickstart. What is it? Who does it benefit? Give us that introduction.
Yeah. So the Quickstart is really the first step in your journey with CBT. And it really benefits the client, the customer, potential customer that we're working with. It's around 2 hours, and we just dive into questions. We invite everyone from the team, so it'll be cross-functional. We'll have people from tech, marketing, boots on the ground folks, managers, anyone and everyone who really wants to join, because we want the solution to benefit everybody, and we really want to have this be more a collaborative experience for the entire team. So we really understand that in order to solve your issue or your problems that you're having, we have to really understand your unique challenges. And that's what we try to get to at the heart of a Quickstart is, what are you currently experiencing? What pain points do you have? How can we help? That sort of thing. So really just diving into questions and not really talking at you or selling products, but just trying to understand your goals and your challenges that you're having.
Sounds like you do a lot of listening there. And again, the idea of this, so many different folks coming to the table. Can you just share a little bit more there? Because it's one of the things I've noticed, especially in evolution in the tech space. Years ago, if we were talking about tech, you'd have a couple tech guys there and that was it. But the idea to bring in marketing, to bring in ops, to bring in field techs or people that are in the office or what have you, it just seems that you get so many more questions out there that can be asked that someone across the room might say, oh, I didn't think about that, right? And really facilitate that early conversation.
Right. So we try to provide solutions that really help meet the needs of a ton of people in your organization, not just one or two folks. We make the most impact by really providing those solutions to as many people as we can. So having that input and the different viewpoints and even just making sure the team's aligned is really what we're trying to do by bringing in so many different people from the different groups within the same organization.
I would think that some folks that might even be listening to us now are saying, yeah, we have that challenge of internal communications, right? So the fact that you can all come in from CBT and really foster that early communication on a major, project and, digital transformation journey, because ultimately that's what a lot of this, is really under that big umbrella. So, all right. So that's what the kind of quick start is. Lonnie, want to jump on over to you, and you obviously have sat at the table there. And Lonnie, you've had in front of you some general managers. You've had folks from all across the manufacturing kind of landscape there. And one of the things that obviously that they want is they want the view into their assets. They want that view into the operations. So give us an idea of having gone through and working on a quick start with teams. How do they start getting that insight and that view that kind of you want to bring to them?
Yeah, sure. It's that cross-sectional approach or cross-functional approach that allows that to happen. A lot of times you're dealing with an IT group or an OT group. With industrial IoT, it's really both, right? The IT-OT convergence, digital transformation, whatever catchphrase you want to throw at it, right? And so many times IT and OT are like two ships passing in the night, right? They're not talking, they're myopic, they're looking at their own solution set, and that may not be what's best for the business. So by bringing all the different seats to the table, you really get that holistic view of what's going on within the organization. But even when you're talking to just one group, use an example. We have a customer that we were talking to their training group and that happened to be the only group that was on there. The reasoning was different for this customer, but they really only wanted to focus on that group. And by the end of the call, they said, thank God we had this quick start, because quite honestly, we thought we were all in alignment. And at the end of the quick start, we realized we weren't. We were all kind of going in our own little direction. We didn't realize what the true target was, what the true benefit was going to be. So it's a valuable process. It works really well. I like to say that IT/OT convergence or industrial IoT, it's a team sport. You have to be in this and working together, right? But gaining that holistic view by having all the different seats at the table, that's where your value is going to come in. And it allows you to identify a series of use cases, and you can kind of stack rank them, right? You want to start ticking them off. You don't want to boil the ocean. You want to start ticking them off as they provide value, and take the ones that provide the most value quickly. So you have an easy solution, you have a quick ROI, start knocking those off, and then you work through the process of delivering full value to the company or the corporation.
Well, and for the IT teams, the OT teams, they can get a quick win, and then they can sometimes get a quick ear to the executives up there. Might not lead to quick money, but it might lead to more budget, right, for those things. Right. And you want to do that. I got to go back to the example you gave where the team realized they were not in alignment. Did that lead to a Quickstart 2.0 for that team to come back together once they got aligned?
You know what it led to is I hate to say, but it led to a quick identification of the solution, and it helped us to be in lockstep with the customer. And so we were able to move more quickly towards getting the solution closed, and now we're working towards a common benefit within their organization that I think everyone's in alignment on. So
maybe we'll have a conversation.
In fact, it's kind of funny because they asked us to pivot a little bit, and because we were in lockstep, we were able to make that pivot and not delay the solution at all.
No, that makes sense, and good on you for that agility there. And again, that's the other thing a lot of teams are looking for is we have a plan, but if something needs to change, who are we working with? What partners out there can pivot with us quickly? And then you demonstrated that's something you're able to do. Let's do this. So the last thing I wanted to touch on here, Lonnie, is so teams go through a quick start. You start looking at, all right, here's some areas that we might have these good, easy wins, the win that will beget another win, et cetera. There is so much technology available that sometimes people get distracted by the tech and the shininess, and it's like, well, which one do we do and all that. So how have you seen these conversations really help people streamline and narrow in on the right technology, especially to give them this asset management that so many teams are looking for, the visibility into operations? Just touch on that for a moment.
Well, it's a challenge, right? We do that by not talking about the widget. We don't get hyper-focused on a certain product or a certain OEM partner. We approach it agnostically and really take that outside looking in approach. And by us being a partner with our customers, we're in it together. We're in it with them. Our tagline is technology with a human touch. We take that very personally. So once you start looking at the technologies, by partnering with best of breed companies, we can put together solutions that really meet the needs. So whether it's head-mounted compute solution or a dashboard where you're bringing in multiple different data types and helping executives or management view these different data types in their own context, or integrating data together to produce some new value. I was actually talking to a data scientist down in Texas one time, and he's a professor, had one of his kids his kids were doing their thesis for their PhD, and they did a analysis of music in Saudi Arabia that was played on public radio, and how that related to the gross domestic product of Saudi Arabia. And they actually found a correlation. When the mood rating of the music was high, gross domestic product tended to rise. When mood rating was low, gross domestic product tended to drop. So you never know where the correlation in data is going to come from. And so by partnering closely, by getting all the players into the room and getting the use cases identified and the solutions identified, that's where you find the real value.
And as Kendall said, folks, a 2-hour investment in a quick start give or take, but approximately those 2 hours, right, to really hash out these ideas, get your team talking to each other, and just make sure you're on the right page. And if you're not, then find out what page y'all need to get on. CBT team can help direct you in that manner. Again, it's something that all of you can take advantage of, this quick start from CBT. So Lonnie, Kendall, appreciate you giving us some insights and sharing there. Folks, what I want to do for all of you is give you a little more contact information so that if you want to schedule your quick start, you can do so. First off, you can obviously visit CBT online. So the website is cbtechinc.com. cbtechinc.com for the website. And again, I mentioned this on other podcasts. We've got a lot of great little kind of case studies there, more detailed information about the offerings from the CBT team. If you want to reach out and again, schedule some conversation, I want to give you an email address here. And that is cbtinfo@cbtechinc.com. One more time for y'all to jot down, cbtinfo@cbtechinc.com. Reach out, schedule a conversation, and that can lead to scheduling a quick start as well. Again, my thanks to Lonnie and Kendall. James here for the entire CBT team. Thank you all for joining and listening, and we do look forward to talking to you all down the road.